This video is going to be about StarForts and the art associated with those StarForts. And we're going to have some fun with it, so we're going to call it starfARTs. Now, I recently came across and have been absolutely pillaging archive.org for just amazing artwork and just interesting facts and thoughts. So in this StarFort collection, these books that are showing at the beginning are some of the cover pages of some of the books where the art that you'll see is from. So I recommend this. It is absolutely amazing. There's so many pictures, so many different etchings, so many different things from all over the world. It is an incredible way to piece it all together. And that's what it's all about, piecing it together. All of us, we can do it. So I came across these and they totally changed kind of my thoughts on these. I still have some different questions, but my thoughts on StarForts before coming across these books were a lot different than they are now. So these drawings are amazing. I still am not sure whether these artists in these books are drawing what they've seen and are dissecting what they found in nature, or if they are basically military books that show the different types of fortifications and different ways to build them, I guess. There's either a chance that they're really easy to build if you have the stone and the work at your disposal, or they're really tough to build still, but they can be done by human means like us, or they were discovered from civilizations a long time ago, and maybe they've been here, maybe there were thousands more. There's websites or YouTube videos that show the collections, and there are thousands of these things that are existing, and real photographs and real places on Google Earth that you can check out, and they're still existing all over the world, thousands of them. I wonder how many of the ones that are still around today and still standing are from either this book, the time before this book, inspired by this book, or just from way long ago. It could be from any time period. And this book is from the 1600s, but it's even more confusing with the angels that are all over the place in it. I called it StarForts Angels, and they're everywhere. This entire book had them just basically showing the way, guiding the way, and that almost shows that maybe they were thought of to be from a higher power, and they act as amazing protections for these cities. It seems like, it really is a moat. There's all this talk there was at one point all this talk in the news about a moat and like things, and these were old methods of doing that, and these books show it, and that's definitely one purpose for it. At one point, remember when I first getting into StarForts, I wondered if they were power devices or ways of using Tesla-style technology, and maybe they still were. Maybe before all these books were written, there were other books or other people that were unifying them, and in the middle of them was some kind of device that just got dismantled over time, or melted, or did something happen to them, or they could have been. Their formations are perfect, their patterns, their geometries, the math behind them is incredible. Their ability to protect is great. You can't deny that. You can't deny their fortification use. We can theorize all these different things, and that is definitely one good use for protection. And I wonder who they were always having to protect for. It seems like these forts were like a serious thing. They're in many books. There are basically yearly military books that were discussing fortifications and methods of protection, methods of defense, methods of armor, ways to protect your city. A lot of these cities are different. They have that wall. It probably is because of water. I'd like to think at one point maybe if the floodings, it would help irrigate and protect it. There's always there's so many different theories that could be. These things are amazing. The art is just absolutely incredible. It's been giving me so much inspiration. I can't even believe it. All these books, searching through these things, and it even helps with figuring out Latin. You start to kind of recognize words and see different things, and that site has many different ways of helping. But the math behind all these, they're all very strong. They're all very protective. They're basically like ecological systems, like within a village. They have the farms. They have everything designated. And it all is part of a fort. It's nuts. I wonder what they always had to protect from. What the need was to always have to build a fort in these castles, the gardens, all these amazing things, all these different shapes, so many different ways to use the star-like shape, and use all different geometries to make beautiful things that from above. I mean, these people definitely knew what these look like from above. These artists are absolute masters, and they, you know, these aerial views are incredible. And there were probably some hills that they could get these views from at some point. But it makes me wonder: balloons were they using, or what kind of methods of flight were they using? Like, there's certain books, you know. I wonder what books are missing from the archives, and what books aren't online that I can't see, and what those books would have in them, because there's clearly a lot of books that explain and have a lot of artwork and different imagery and text that is really mind-boggling and really tough to pinpoint what these cultures and the civilizations were really thinking about at the time. Like, I can't even imagine what's going on in these people that live within the StarForts, and like that we're just reading these books and seeing these books with this incredibly detailed art with angels and all these different things, these shapes, these monuments that are impeccable. Nobody, if anyone were around were to build one of these monuments nowadays, they'd be revered as just an instant master. And there's a lot of books too that show different effigies of artists from the past, and so many that I've never heard of and can't wait to look into, because they look like amazing people. And just you know, these ones show these the artists that do these are incredible as well. And these were showing farmlands, different kind of ways to separate your crops into different ways, different patterns, all interlaced within them. There's StarForts within StarForts. There's one point that's a city of StarForts, like different StarForts around that are forming a giant StarFort within a StarFort. It's just infinite possibilities to use this pattern, and I really wonder how long they've been around. You know, these could be ancient things. The pyramids are supposedly, you know, who knows, 10,000, 5,000, etc. years old, 20,000. These could be the same exact amount. They're still strong enough to be able to withstand all these things. They look like they're designed perfect to deflect water, deflect anything, fire. Like they're repeating. I'd like to spin some of these and see what they look like as well, and I probably definitely will in a later video. I wonder if there's some patterns that evoke when these just are spun. But these patterns are ancient, they're sacred, they're like almost like giant crop circles but made of stone. They really are perfect, and they never really duplicate. It seems like every one is in some way different, as if they were cataloging the ones that existed, and there were so many that existed, or they were building and trying different ones and different methods, trying to see which ones worked better. Maybe some failed, maybe they all worked. They all seem like they work. It looks like a snowflake. You know, this pattern is everywhere in nature, in structure and sculpture and art and in everything, in the kaleidoscopes. It's incredible. This one of the town of Mechlin is incredible, because there's a tower in that town that really is mind-boggling. Some of the most insane architecture I've ever seen. I don't understand how they made that stuff, those really immaculate towers, or any of this. I mean, where could they quarry all this stuff from? How did they do it? These towers, I would love to see some photographs of them actually building them and doing the work, and different images of that. I didn't really see any of that, of people building these. And I couldn't read a lot of the words from these books because they were in other languages. I could understand certain parts and titles a lot of time, but not too much. These look like stained glass windows, but they're massive StarForts. That one looks like a wheel, like the wheel of Dharma. These are universal. These patterns are ancient, found in so many different cultures, from Hindus to Buddhists to everywhere, all over the continents, every single continent, which makes you always wonder, how many other continents are there out there? You know, is there a civilization that's still existing within this realm, using these things, and they've just continued to advance? Are they our watchers? Are they watching us? Are they up north? Are they down south? Are they over to the east? Or where are they? What is all this? You know, and maybe these things had some magnetic properties. Maybe they were built in specific places as well. I wouldn't put anything past these architects and builders from the past. They seem so intelligent, and the books that they write, the things that they say, the topics they choose, the stories, the mythologies, the architecture, the math, their love of nature, their love of plants and animals, and all these different things. It's really, I wouldn't put it past any of them. I believe we have a total misconception of how these people lived their lives and what they thought and how they existed and truly how smart they are. And they're just all masters. There are so many masters out there. And I love this one. Look at this, just a star fort on top of a tower and giant mountainous zone. Unbelievable. Pretty soon I'm going to go into the Tower of Babel and some other topics, but stay tuned. StarForts, starfARTs, they are unbelievable. Enjoy. I recommend going back to any of those pictures and stopping on them. And just had to add a little bit of my art in there. There's the pentacles from the tarot, and then I always like to think of things as portals to other dimensions, imagination, and so much. This is something that's going to be coming soon, and there's a lot of inspiration from shapes, geometry, everything in art.